What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 3 of the Rise to Glory here with Gibraltar Apex. And today we are going to be taking on Lincoln Red Imps in the league. It's the end of January. There's been a few transfers to tell you guys about, and well, it's been a pretty good run of form of late. So let's get straight into the fixtures. And of course, last episode, I believe we took on Gibraltar Phoenix. That was a 1-1 draw. Since then, 7 games to tell you guys about, 5 in the league, 2 in domestic cups. We'll start with the first result, kind of in chronological order, I guess, which was against Olympique. This was a good little win against this team. Quarterfinals of the Division 2 League Cup. Not a tournament that I'm particularly worried about, if I'm honest, but at the same time it'd be nice to go on a little run in this competition, potentially win it. There is some prize money on offer of £10,000, which would be very nice if we could win that. But yeah, good result in this first opening stage. Lopez getting 2 goals. That was quite nice to see. Lopez, 23 years old, a player who we brought in on relatively low wages. He's not scored for us yet in the league. Granted, you know, he's only had 1 start there, but to get him off to a good start in the kind of, I guess, cup competition was good to see. Anyway, the next result, similar to a lot of the results that really preceded the previous episode, it was a 3-0 win against Cannons. Just a really good performance by everyone. Legia and Warren Bright getting on the score sheet. Unfortunately, however, Warren Bright has had an injury of late, and that has certainly hindered him. He was out for 4 weeks with a pulled hamstring as of the 18th. So I believe this may have been, it was, the game that he got injured in, unfortunately for him. Despite scoring, though, you know, he contributed in that game despite his injury, and it was a really good result. Anyway, the next game, a game against Europa Point, one of the big teams in this division this year. They're one of the teams who really have emerged as a rival for us. If you look here, they have lost 1 game all season. They are currently in 2nd place on 22 points. We have a 7 points cushion to them. And that cushion is largely thanks to this match. This was a great win. Drimmy with a last-minute goal for us. It was the 92nd minute. There were 3 minutes of added time. And yeah, we managed to pull this out the top draw, which was really nice. Gilbert out on the left. Griffo whipped it in, and Drimmy at the back post with an incredible finish. He hit that into the roof of the net on the back post, and that did secure us a vital win, but it also marked the first defeat for Europa Point all season in the league, and it's the only result and the only defeat they've had since then. So anyway, going off that result, I was really confident going into the Hound Dogs game. You know, we'd been ahead. We'd beaten the best team in the league, basically, the previous match, and I thought we were going to continue kind of in a similar vein of form here, but it just didn't happen for us. You can see here, the game finished 1-1, Darren Bright with a very late goal for them. Looking at the stats, it was a game that we were probably deserving of winning, really, but to have 3 shots from on target from 18, slightly inexcusable. A bad day at the office for our strikers. We definitely were missing Warren Bright for that game. Anyway, the next match, we took on Cannons in the Rock Cup. We'd taken them on and beaten them 3-0 not long before. And in this game, it was much the same. A really good win. Scott Ballantyne getting a goal. And this was actually a goal, I do believe, on his debut. A new player who we brought into the club. He joins us from Lincoln Red Imps. He wasn't playing much first-team football for them. We brought him in for £210. Really broke the bank for this transfer. But he's 19 years old. He's actually a player with quite a little bit of potential, I think. And he looks like he's going to be a very useful player for us out on the left midfield position. On low wages as well, 19 years old. It's only a 6-month deal, but it's still, you know, a deal that I'm happy to get done. And it was great to see him contribute immediately in this game. Anyway, the next 2 results, both 3-0s in the league. The first one here against College Europa, or in fact, no, it wasn't. It was against Europa Pegasus, who are College Europa's kind of junior team, a bit like a B team, really. It's the same with Red Imps and Lincoln Red Imps. A few of the bigger teams in Gibraltar do have these kind of junior teams, Europa Pegasus being one of them. You can see here, though, Drimmy getting a goal. Of course, he got that vital goal against Europa Point. He got another one here, the midfielder, and also Legia grabbing 2. Thomas Legia, been a fantastic player for us this year, and has since last episode signed a new contract that will take him all the way to 2018, which I was really pleased to get done. So that was that result, and then as I mentioned, one more 3-0, this one against Boca Juniors, Legia grabbing another 2, Drimmy again getting a goal. It was almost a copy of the previous result, I guess you could say, and Drimmy here, he's done great so far. 5 goals, 5 assists, 3 player of the matches, an 8.06 average rating. Cannot complain about that one little bit. So anyway, let's just take a little bit more of a look at the squad in a tiny bit more detail so you guys can kind of get an idea of what's been going on. In terms of top performers recently, Daniel has been doing well again. We're not going to try and say his last name because I'm going to butcher it, but this guy, he's doing a good job for us. Might get a call up for Gibraltar down the line, an 8.08 average rating so far in the league for him. Reyes has been performing really well of late, a 7.92 average rating in recent games. He has since signed a contract extension with the club, and actually, if we just look at it here, obviously the majority of contracts at the start of the year were 1-year deals, but since then I've kind of had a chance to evaluate the players, and basically every player from Yusuf Sabari downwards is on a 2 or 3 year deal, which is pretty pleasing to see. In terms of the squad, there are a few injuries to tell you guys about going into today's game, which is going to be that game against Red Imps. We currently have 2 centre-backs out with injuries. Lee Fendley is one of them. He's not out for too long with a damaged heel, just going to miss today's game. But Guerrero is out injured for 5 to 6 weeks with a twisted ankle. It's going to be a big miss in our side. But we do have, players to come in Chembry and Bruzon to kind of fill the void in the centre-back position. We are caught a little bit short now defensively. Obviously, we don't have the biggest squad in the world. If we get a centre-back injury, Reyes is going to have to move to centre-back, and then it's going to be Liam Buttigieg, who has to come in for us and potentially play right back. Not the best defensive right back in the world, but he's actually quite good going forward. More of a right wing back, but we are retraining him to play that right back position just to give us a little bit more coverage kind of elsewhere on the pitch. So anyway, that's what's going on there. In terms of the Rock Cup, you saw that we won the first round. Our second round tie is going to be against Manchester 62 FC. They are a team who I believe are currently third in the Premier Division. Yeah, you can see here they are in third place on 21 points. Looking at the Premier Division, you can see College Europa and Lincoln Red Imps really battling it out for the title at the moment. There is 4 games left of the season. And yeah, it's anyone's game really at the top of that division. So actually, I should talk about this, but at the moment in Gibraltar, there are 2 kind of European qualifying spots. One is for the first round of the Champions League qualifying stages. That goes to the winner of the Premier Division, and the winner of the Rock Cup gets a spot in the Europa League. And whilst I don't expect us really to, challenge in the Rock Cup, I guess the fact that we are winning our league so comfortably makes me think we should be fairly competitive against some of the Premier divisions. I guess if we beat Manchester 62 FC in the second round, which will be next episode, that will kind of give me a belief that we can potentially win the Rock Cup, and I might really go and try and win it to get that Europa Cup spot. It would be a pretty crazy achievement in the first year. We would have to maybe beat Red Imps, which is definitely not going to be easy. But it's kind of on my radar as something that we might want to pursue this year, just depending on how we get on in the league, I guess, over the next few games. So anyway, looking at our fixtures, that Rock Cup game is going to be coming your way at the start of February. In fact, no, the start of March. So we have got quite a few games in February. We might be able to kind of, really get an assailable lead in the Premier League, or in the Segunda division before that game, which will leave us in quite a nice position maybe to rotate players, particularly with the Division 2 League Cup semi-final coming up at the end of March, but also obviously with the Rock Cup. In terms of our finances, we're okay. We're a minus £11,000. That's kind of to be expected in this first year. If we can win the second division kind of League Cup, that is £10,000. Additionally, with our fixtures being so spaced out of late and having had not many home games, we've not really taken in too many gate receipts, so that's something else to keep an eye out on, I guess, for the next few matches. But anyway, let's get into today's game against Gibraltar Red Imps. Looking at our team here, you can see this is how we're going to go, I think. Nothing too crazy here. We go with Sueta in goal. He's kind of established himself as the first choice goalkeeper. There is a debate to say Yusuf Sabari is actually a better a better goalkeeper. But at the moment, I don't really want to, change it. Sueta has done a great job for us in goal, and we're going to stick with him. At left back, we go with Glenn Gilbert, still doing a really solid job for us there. Reyes at right back, he's really made that position his own this year, 7.9 rating for him. In the centre back position, I've already talked about Bruzon and Chembry coming into the side due to injuries. On the left mid position, we have Monte Griffo. Right mid, we have Drimmy. In the centre midfield, we go with Sargent and Danny. And then up front, we go with Bright and Legia. So all in all, pretty strong team. Great to have Warren Bright back from injury. He has been one of our big goal-scoring players. 8 goals in 7 league games. I guess kind of implies that. And his absence was missed kind of previously for the 4 weeks he was out injured. So a win here. We are the only game playing today. You could actually see us go, 10 points clear of Europa point. Granted, we will have played an extra game. But we are going to have to, first and foremost, take down this Red Imp side. They are, as I mentioned, kind of a reserve team for Gibraltar, Lincoln Red Imps in Gibraltar. So they're not a bad team, but they have been struggling this year a little bit. So I'm hopeful that we can just get a really good result here. Of course, this game, or rather this game marks, I guess, the entering into the second half of the league season. It's a 22-game season. We've played 11 games so far. Right now, we're top of the table. I'm hoping after another half of a season, we will still be right up there at the top of the table. The top team does get an automatic promotion spot in our division, and the second place team gets a promotional playoff match against the team who finished second from bottom in the Premier division. So even if we blow it completely, we should still have maybe a second chance here. But anyway, we are playing in our blue, and we do need to defend here as Mahmoud will score for Red Imps. That is not the start we wanted right here, right now. Defensively, we've been superb in this save. It just seems like whenever we come for the live comms, my defenders, they can't live up to the big occasion. What can you say? They seem to choke. I mean, I believe that we've only conceded maybe 4 goals in 11 games or something crazy. This being the 4th, potentially. So it is a little bit disappointing. But at the same time, we've got to bounce back here. Hopefully we can do something. Legia, Montegrifo, options in the middle. Shembri, the centre-back. Just go out wide if you can. Where are you going? What's he done? What has he done there? Okay, we've got the ball still. Panic over. If that had led to a mistake, I would have been upset. Legia, Drimmy, Danny, out wide to Reyes. Reyes, can he whip in the ball here? He can. Bright's there. And Warren Bright adds to his goal tally. 9 goals in 8. That is going to make it. Back from injury. Reyes, the right back, with a really nice assist there. Nicely picked out the cross from the byline. Keeper didn't come out for it in that corridor of uncertainty. And looking at it there, Warren Bright, towering header for that man. Makes it 1-1 here. And you know what? We've missed Warren Bright. I'm delighted he's back. Hopefully he can bang in some more goals for us. The game against Hound Dogs where we drew 1-1. I was sat there kind of crying. I had a picture of Warren Bright on my desk, framed. And I was just crying over it, because we missed him so much. Anyway, I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy with that performance out there. This is a game we should be winning comfortably. They've reacted quite well to that, so we're not going to say anything too much more to complicate it. Instead, going to get straight into the second half, and I'm hoping for kind of an improved second half performance here. We have got the ball. Reyes, the right back, into Griffo. Danny, can he pick out a pass? He can't. Long shot. Drimmy with the rebound. He's not offside. Kadrion Drimmy with a goal. He has been a really standout player this year. When I brought him into the club, I wasn't sure what to make of it. I paid £200 a week for Drimmy to come in. There was kind of perhaps an element of doubt there. But I'll tell you what, he's averaging a goal or an assist every match so far this season. I cannot complain one little bit about his performances. He's proving to be well worth the money. And right now at 2-1 up, you'd have to say we're fairly good money for our lead. I am going to make a few changes, I do think. I think we're going to bring in Scott Ballantyne. I talked about him as being one of the new players we brought in. Warren is struggling a little bit, and given the fact that he has been suffering from injury, I am tempted to take him off. Unfortunately, because of kind of the situation that we kind of have in the team at the moment, we're kind of a little bit kind of short on players, but we'll make that change anyway. I've not talked about Anthony Garcia, but he's a player who we signed again from Red Imp, similar to Ballantyne. I'll show you the guys who we did sign just in a second, because there were a few that have come in from Red Imps. They are kind of players who were right on the fringe of their team. Good youth prospects though, they were players playing in the Gibraltar under-21 squad. And playing for us, I'm hoping they're going to develop quite nicely. Anyway, Garcia with a chance here. Dispossessed. Dos Santos to clear it away potentially for Red Imps. We'll give it straight to Shembri, though, who gives it away. Shembri, get rid of it. That'll do. Drimmy, the goal scorer. Can he add to his tally? He whips it in. Ballantyne side netting. A really unlucky effort there. Perhaps should have pulled it back into the centre instead of trying to go for the shot from the impossible angle. 2-1. We're looking pretty good here. We are looking pretty good indeed, and we're going to boot the ball up to Drimmy. Can he get there with his pace? He can't, but Banda, the keeper, sweeping up. We need to stay switched on defensively here. Red Imps are having a little bit of the ball. You can see They've got 44% of possession. We're not dominating this game, and they are creating chances, but that is a great win there. Now can Garcia pick out a pass? He can. Ballantyne. Leguia, Drimmy with the rebound. That is going to be a goal. It's 3-1. That should put this game beyond doubt. Kadrian Drimmy, 7th goal of the season for him. Not too shabby for a right midfielder, if I might say so myself. Good to see Ballantyne, the sub, getting involved with Leguia. Probably should have scored himself there, but Drimmy, aware of the threat, aware of the opportunity, gets the goal and makes it 3-1. That's his 2nd of the game, and now we can relax. Now we can breathe a sigh of relief. This is going to be, well, it should be at this point, a very, very kind of standard, convincing win where we don't have to worry about too much more, although Red Imps, they want to just shut me up right here. It's now 3-2. Kevin Boateng, he's not a prince, but he is a Boateng, and he's got the goal there. Isra, out on the left, whips it in. A packed stadium. We'll use packed very loosely, but a packed stadium go wild for the goal there for Red Imps. And yeah, at 3-2, suddenly, you know, it's squeaky bum time. We need a goal here. I want a goal just to relax me. I tell you what doesn't relax me, passing it back to the keeper. Although we do have the ball here. This is nice passing. Garcia, out on the right, there's an option. Reyes is there. Oh, in fact, it's not Reyes because we've moved him into centre mid. It's Buttigieg. Or Danny. We'll call you Danny. Garcia with the goal. 4-2. And now we can stop panicking. Anthony Garcia, 1st goal at the club for him. Very young prospect. I think he's only 17 or 18. Great to see him get on the score sheet here. And it came from a Leguia dispossession, actually, that led to a Garcia tap-in to make it 4-2. We've dominated this game. We've had 4 clear-cut chances. Disappointing to concede twice, if I'm honest. But despite that, it's been a fairly convincing performance. Delighted with how the team have done here. And it looks like we might add to it again. There's still time. Leguia through on goal. Banda with another save. We've had 6 clear-cut chances. We've been unusually unclinical. Unclinical isn't a word, but I've just invented it. We've been wasteful, is what I want to say. It's not been a day to remember for our strikers. Fortunately, however, I guess Drimmy has come up big for us and kind of saved us. You can see he's on a 9.1 average rating. His condition is pretty low, but we don't have any more subs to make. We'll keep him on. I kind of want him to get his hat-trick if he can. It'd be incredible for the right midfielder to do that. And there might be a late chance here. It's the 86th minute. We still have our 2-goal cushion. We really should win this now. Garcia, the youngster, picking up the ball to Leguia, dispossessed. But can we apply some pressure on the goalkeeper here? I feel like whenever the ball goes back to a goalkeeper in Gibraltar, just anticipate a misplaced pass or some kind of horrific error. We need to defend this though. Mahmoud, can he whip in the ball? He can. And Bruce Smith scores for Red Imps. And squeaky bum time commences. How have they scored 3 with no clear-cut chances? They've just scored chances which don't always get created in FM and don't always get scored. But to be fair, that's a great little finish. Keeper has no chance. Bruce Smith smashing it into the roof of the net. And that surely they're not going to complete the comeback. This can't happen. This can't happen, FM. Stop it. Get rid of the ball. Leguia. Back to Matthew Smith. It's still only 4-3. Stop it. Get the ball out. Okay. It's our throw-in. I'm still nervous. 2 minutes of added time. There's definitely a highlight left in this chance for one team. I want Drimmy to get the hat-trick. Leguia with the ball. Inside to Sargent. Options out on the left. Glenn Gilbert there. Down the line to Ballantyne, the new arrival. Can he whip it in? He can. Leguia. Garcia with the rebound. No, unfortunately not. But that was another clear-cut chance we squandered. Fortunately, that is going to be all she wrote for this game. We have won 4-3. Not convincing by any means. Should have been a lot more. I'm going to tell the players that I'm not happy and that we got away with that one. That was a fortunate performance. At the end of the day, we do get the 3 points in the win, but still, I'm not convinced. I am not convinced one little bit. So anyway, I did mention some signings that we've made from Red Imps. We'll go through them quickly. Garcia scored today, of course. This guy's 17 years old. Fantastic little talent. He is on a non-contract, so he gets paid per appearance. And he looks like a very good young striker. I'm surprised we were able to entice him in. I guess the fact that he wasn't playing regular first-team football for Red Imps meant that he really wanted to move somewhere where he will get some game time. And I guess that's a similar story for these other players. Leon Clinton here, a good player. He's more of a striker, I think, for us. Again, only 17 years old, has made one international appearance as well for Gibraltar, which is cool. Decent natural fitness, not the most rapid of players, but good finishing, good first touch. Technically, for a player in our league, he's not too shabby at all. Mentals perhaps let him down a smidge. and his off the ball isn't great. But besides that, he looks like he's going to be a good little player for us. And then last but not least, Scott Ballantyne, perhaps of these players, the player to make the most impact. I mean, he has a face. That is a landmark in itself. We have signed a player who is in my face pack. That's got to be like a landmark occasion, I guess, at the club. But you can see here, 7.55 rating for Scott Ballantyne in the 2 league games he's appeared in. He also got 1 goal and 1 assist in the cup game he's played in. And yeah, he's had a very, very good start to his time at the club. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up this episode from me. That takes our winning run to 12 games unbeaten. I don't want to utter the words unbeatables or invincibles yet, but it's a possibility. Unfortunately for us, we will never be able to set the most points total in the Segunda division, because last year there were 14 teams playing in the division, and I believe that the record holders, Gibraltar United, got 66 points, which would require us to win every game of the season, which, well, when you've drawn 2 games already, isn't going to happen. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap things up from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Next time we'll be back for the Rock Cup against Manchester 62 FC. Going to be a pretty big game. Not a load of expectations on us. Going to be taking on one of the really kind of big teams in the nation. Should be a fun game regardless. Hopefully I'll see you guys for that one. If you've enjoyed, as always, smash the like button. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.